Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do the unboxing, the first look, and how to set up for the first time the brand new Narwal Flow. There's been a lot of anticipation for this video. I did buy this with my own money. It retails for $1,500. I was able to get it on sale for $1,300. Now again, I did buy it with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video, but I do use links. So there will be a link to it in the show description notes, and we'll see if it makes it to my website, justadadapproved.com. If it passes all my testing, it'll end up on my website with a Just a Dad sticker seal of approval, and you'll find it at justadadapproved.com. Now this video is going to be kind of long. There's a lot going on with this, so we're going to completely unbox it. We're going to put it together. We're going to connect it to our smartphone, map our house. Then we'll do the first cleaning over here in the world famous Just a Dad Corner Cleaning Studios. We'll even do some carpet cleaning test. So I do like the box is heavy. It does come with 2 handles, but it did require 2 of us to carry it. And there's just one little seal. I have no idea what to expect from this. And there's some tape on the side too. Okay. I've had a lot of requests for this video. Okay, so we have paper manuals. That's good. I've got the little side brushes. Now there is a big warning here. Do not tilt when picking up or placing. So the robot looks like it's inside the dock, and they don't want you lifting the dock out and the robot could fall out. So that's kind of a good warning. Looks like there's handles here. Power cord was stuck right there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else there. Okay, so this is where they're saying if you lift this up, the robot could fall out. It's inside the dock. The plastic just comes off, so don't think you're going to use the plastic. I recommend keeping the box intact because in case you have to send it back. So this is going to be rather challenging. You got to lift it. There are 2 handles on each side, one on each side. We're going to lift it straight up. Okay, let's see if we can't document this. Again, straight up, it's kind of heavy, but the robot is right here and it could fall out. So I'm going to take this and set this down right away. There we go. Can you still see? Yeah, everybody can still see. Okay, so let's do this. And now bring the robot out. All right, so there's our robot, and I'll put everything up on the table. Okay, let's just kind of go over some of the packaging. This needs to come out. There is some foam down here. We'll go over this. This looks like all that is out. All right, we have some foam up here. Clean water tank has a bunch of stuff in it. The dirty water tank. The dirty water tank doesn't have anything in it, but the clean water tank has, let me get all this out. Looks like it comes with this goes inside the robot dustbin, a filter. I don't know if these are extra yet or if I've got to install them. I'll check. This is just some solution. I think we got to add this to the clean water tank. Looks like an extra dust bag maybe, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll go over all this. A button up here, some instructions. Safety instructions, there's usually nothing in there. The user manual, I do like that it's paper and it looks like it's very detailed. And there is a quick start guide. Yeah, simple instructions. Now, as far as I know, this is 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi capable. And if we look at the specs, it does say that. Looks like 1,000 watts whenever it's drying. 450 watts when it's dust collecting, 1,350 watts whenever it's, 1,450 watts whenever it's heating the water. Yeah, it does say 2.4 gigahertz and 5. Over here on the robot, looks like there's a big sticker on the top here. We want to get this sticker off. There's another sticker here. That's got the sensor. Okay, that's the front. Sensors, another sticker here. This is the LiDAR in the back. Okay, we got a bunch of stuff to take off. Yeah, real quick, here is the bottom of the robot. Okay, you're gonna open the front lid. Though these are extras, so here's the dustbin, and it does come with one already installed, so those are extra. Be sure and take this out. This is the bumper guard. Now the bumper's free to move. Okay, so first let me clarify a few things. You may see some black tape covering up some data tape labels and stuff. This is because there's QR codes and addresses in here, and sometimes I'll use footage from this video on other platforms, and if they see a QR code like that on a piece of product or an address, they'll flag it as I'm trying to redirect people to another website or something. So this is just to prove, so I can use some of this video footage in other platforms. And you may see I've got the Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. Well, I've been having some of my videos show up. People are stealing my videos. So I'm putting this on here just to kind of identify this as my video, but it has to earn that and keep that. So there's going to be a lot of footage, and I'm going to take some of the footage of this cleaning the famous studio over there, and that sticker will be on top. And, you know, eventually at the end, I will let you know if it earns that sticker, because I will remove it if it doesn't for future. But for this is going to be such a popular video right now that I'm afraid some of this footage could get stolen, and that's why I've got my sticker on it. And then that's why I have to use black tape to cover these QR codes and addresses, because I may use some of this on another platform, and it's constantly looking for those QR codes, and it just flags it. Okay, so here's everything that comes in the box. I've got it all spread out. You do get an extra dust bag, extra filter, extra dustbin. We're going to have to install these side brushes. Here's the actual robot vacuum cleaner, got a cord, and we do have some solution that we're going to be putting in the clean water tank. So first, let's talk about the robot, and then we'll move over to the base station. So I've got the robot turned upside down. This has a mop roller, and that's like a flat surface. It can raise and lower that mop roller 12 millimeters because it has a carpet sensor up here. This is where it's going to vacuum the carpet, and there is this little door that can come down, which I'll show you in a little bit, but it does have 22,000 pascals of suction. Here's the drive wheels. Here's the cliff sensors so it doesn't fall down your stairs. Let's take the door off here, and we'll see that it's got a little lever that it can move that down whenever it's on carpets, so that the brush roller suction area has better contact with the carpet. Now here's the brush roller. It is floating. Long hairs are not going to wrap around this. They're going to wrap around, but then they're going to be directed to the end and get sucked in. There's not a pivot point on that other side. So that looks like a pretty nice feature. Little different design. You got to put this end in first and then rotate it down. Let's put the side brushes on. They are color coded, and there's like these two, you got to kind of line it up. They'll only go one way. Make sure you click it on place. Line that up. Click. They will also store like this so that the brush roller will grab the long hairs off of these. Now if we push these little buttons right here, the mop roller, you can take it off. It comes installed, but you will have to replace this once in a while. There's what it looks like. And you can also, I'm not sure if you can put this in your laundry or not, but the base station is going to try and keep it clean, but again, you will have to replace it once in a while. There's where it's going to spray water on top of it. It says it sprays warm water on top of it. And then there's the scraper. It has an onboard dirty water tank. Let's go ahead and put this back on. There's a metal side. We want the metal side to go in first, and then push this over. Yeah, a little tricky. Thankfully, it does come all installed, but you will have to work on this once in a while. Then you rotate that down and push that till it clicks. The mop roller is 10.5 inches, vacuum 5.5. All right, I flipped the robot over. We do have two buttons here, a power button, which is a start and stop, and then a home button. There is a ring light that's going to tell us what to do. Lift this up. This is the dust bin. So as it vacuums your house, everything's going to go into here. You will have to replace and clean this filter once in a while, about every 2 weeks. I like that they give us an extra one. That way you can let this one, you can rinse this under water and let it dry in the sun. This little container you will have to replace once in a while. There is a little spring door here. Everything gets sucked out the bottom when it goes back to the base station. And then just put this in, like put these little ears in first and then click it down. Okay, let's measure the robot. It is 13.5 inches or about 35 centimeters. Now, height-wise, it says it's 3.74 inches. Yep, I would call that about 3 3/4, almost 3 7/8. Looks like about 10 centimeters. Now, this does have the front bumper on it. Now, the LiDAR is around back. It does have spinning LiDAR. It's going to come out the back and the sides of the robot. There's an opening here. There's no access here or anything. The front is for obstacle avoidance. So since it has LiDAR navigation, it is going to be able to map your house and go in straight lines. There is a side sensor here. Now the side brushes, one's longer than the other one, and it says when it gets in a corner, it spins them backwards. So we'll see how that works. Vent, again, there's the buttons to release. There's a button here. I don't know what that does, and I haven't gained access inside the mopping area other than just taking the mop roller off. Now around back, again, there's the spinning LiDAR. This is where it's going to charge the robot. The robot does have an internal water tank, and it does have an internal dirty water tank. So it does get sucked out at the end of the job. This wheel just spins free. And again, these are just extra parts. Now around back, the power cord is 3-prong. It's 57 inches long, and you want to plug it in and make sure it's nice and flush. Again, 3-prong. It's going to, 100 to 127 volts, 50 to 60 hertz. Whenever it's drying, 100 watts. Whenever it's collecting dust, the most wattage is when it's heating the water is 1,450 watts. All right, let's look up top here. Here is the clean water tank, and here is the dirty water tank. Now, there's also a place for like a detergent bottle, but they don't give us anything for that. There's what that looks like. Okay, so here's inside the clean water tank. There is a filter at the end of this tube. You're going to put clean water in here, and then you're going to put 3 capfuls of the solution in here. This is the Narwal floor cleaning solution. So that's the cap, and each clean water tank requires 3 capfuls. Here's the dirty water tank. There's just a filter there. There's a sticker on the door to kind of give us a heads up of what all the functions mean. And there is a button up here with a light that's going to tell us different things. And pressing this 1, 2, or 3 times is going to do different things. And that's what the sticker is going to tell us. Okay, let's take this off here. This is where the dust bag is. So you will have to replace this dust bag about every 2 or 3 months. There is a micro switch down there, so whenever you put this in, you want to make sure put it in all the way. Make sure the bag's not there. All the way, and that's it. There, like that. Put the bottom feet in first, rotate it, clicks into place. Base station front to back, 15 inches or 39 centimeters. Left to right, looks like it's about 17 inches or 43 centimeters. Now, you got to be able to lift the lid all the way up to get these out. So I'll measure that. Okay, so with the lid all the way up, looks like it's about 29 inches, about 74 centimeters. Okay, so here's the docking station. There's where it's going to auto empty the dustbin. There's where the hot air comes out at the end of the job. It's going to wash the mop roller here. One of these is going to suck the water out of the dirty water tank, and the other one is going to fill the clean water tank, charge it. And I do like that this tray comes out for easy cleaning. So I like that this tray comes all the way out. We can take this to the sink and get this all nice and clean. There is a little filter here. This comes off. One of the little ears was broke, but I think it's going to be okay. It fits on there fine. There's like a little scraper here. And again, here's kind of a close-up. And then there's like a suction port down at the bottom. There's a little sensor. Let's go even a little there. Okay, so I'm not sure which one is which here. And the manual, I've been through the manual. It's just a couple pages. It doesn't talk about getting any more access to like the scraper area up above this or anything. It does talk about it has a dirty water tank that has a stirrer in it, but those ports are just different. I'm not sure which one's which. Now it also says it uses onboard hot water, which I don't know if there's a heater built in or if it's just being filled with hot water, and then the hot water is kind of in a reservoir and then being squirted onto the mop roller. They're not real specific on that. I'm assuming that's the case. I can't imagine having an onboard heater, but maybe. So some things we're really going to watch is it says in a corner it turns these backwards, and it doesn't have side reach, like there's no arm that comes out, but one is definitely longer than the other one. So we'll see that. I think there's a camera on the front. Looks like there is an LED light. Again, the amount of information on these robots is so hard to come by. They're being so general anymore. It does connect to both Wi-Fi, that's one of the first robots I've seen do that. And again, it says it can lift this up and down, but it can also, this front, I think there's a little lever down there that it pushes right here that makes that go in contact with the carpet. So we'll see how that works. It looks like and then again, floating, that is going to help with long hair. Thresholds, I'm not sure. There's like a ramp here. There's no climbing wheels. These are a little different. But the threshold, they really advertise 1.57 inches, but that's a 2-step threshold. So it won't do, so not this part here, but say this is 1.5 inches, it will not do this type of threshold. The total has to be 1.5. The first step has to be 1.18, so a very small, I'll do some testing, but it won't come right up to a 1.5 and do it. The first little part has to be 3 centimeters, and then the total thickness is 4 centimeters. Okay, I've got it plugged in. This light is flashing quick. I haven't turned the robot on. We're supposed to just dock the robot. Let's fill the clean water tank up first with clean water. Okay, so it says 1 to 3 capfuls. This is kind of messy. There. Now the dirty water tank, I recommend I'll put a link to where these Effordent tablets pop up in the video. Put one of these in here every time you empty the dirty water tank. That water will get really smelly. And also, this is the world famous Just a Dad cleaning brush from Walmart for $5. I'll put a link to this too. You are going to have to keep constantly cleaning these dirty water tanks. But the Effordent tablets or the Polydent tablets are an amazing thing that helps keep the odor down. Okay, tanks are good. Now let's just dock the robot. It should turn on. I heard a beep. It's hard to see the lights, but now let's go to the Narwal app. And we should hear a sound. Okay, after about 20 seconds, it plays a tune. So you do have to get the Narwal app, log in with it, create a username and password. It is free to use. Add a device. I got the flow. Yep, it's on because I docked it. Select your Wi-Fi, give it your Wi-Fi password. So it's scanning right now. So it must have found the device.
Network connecting. Please wait.
All right, it said network connected. It's binding. Agree and proceed. I don't want to do the join now. Now, I did read a couple things in their description on the Amazon page and everything that they do want you to do the update first. So we are going to do the update. It says it experienced an error, but we're just going to we're just going to give it some time here. These are like computers that just have to boot up, yeah. No, we're not going to do it. I mean, I guess you could do mapping, but it did say to do the update. So let's click the little gear icon, firmware version. Oh, it says it already has the latest version. 1.00.26.00. That is on. So leave that on. So I guess we're good. I just want to make sure. So I did see the little spinning arrow. We have the latest version. Okay. So that little thing that said quick mapping, we should have clicked on that. But I think it's best to there. Start quick mapping. We got 51% charge. Open up. Are there any stairs in your house? So if you have stairs, you're going to. When no steps or stairs are selected, no stair mode will be turned on. This is something different. In this mode, the robot will improve its obstacle crossing capability, but the robot may fall off in case of a height drop. So I do have stairs, so I'm going to select yes.
Mapping started. Please put away obstacles on the floor.
So open up all your doors, you know, kind of pick things up off the floor. Now, since it has LiDAR, it's going to go around and it's going to create the map as it goes. And it even shows where the carpet is as it's going. So don't follow it around like I am or anything, but I did put a threshold in here of 3/4 of an inch. So it says it will do, 1.18, so it should have no problem with that threshold. It's still in mapping mode, so I just want to, I was wrong. It does have something that lifts up. I wasn't expecting that at all. It can lift its front end up. I don't know how it does that. Oh, wow. They need to advertise this more. I looked at all the advertisement and I never saw one. I mean, it did show it was doing thresholds, but it didn't say how. So mapping's taken a little longer than normal and it got stuck. I'm not sure why. It just got stuck twice right there. Like there's really nothing that it can't get over. But it did notify me, and finally I just picked it up and put it in the hallway. So we'll see. Okay, so mapping took a little longer than normal, but it does seem very thorough, and it did get stuck twice. But typically I don't ever have that. And when it comes back to the dock, you know, it comes back and turns itself around, and then it like rams itself home. So that's a little unusual. All right, we got some pop-ups. Detect there may be foreign objects on the upper cover. Tap to view. I don't know what that is. Now it did encounter some obstacles during mapping. It did divide up the house into rooms. I got to give it access to take pictures though, so because it doesn't take pictures yet. So let's go ahead and let's edit this map. That's not it. All right, it's a little hidden. Click the map icon, then click map editing. Okay, now we need to split rooms if you need to. So this one, the big room, I'm going to split. Move that line. It has to be solid or it won't work. There, that's about right. Yep. Hit the little check mark, and it should divide it up into 2 different rooms. You can merge rooms. Let's split one more room here. Yeah, right there. Now we'll go back, we'll name some rooms. Take your time with this. Oops, it says unable to split, even though it's blue. I've encountered this before with Narwhal. Sometimes their apps, their room dividing can be a little tricky. All right, so let's go back, confirm. Let's rename. Let's go to this one. I think it is important to use the names they have, but you can also do custom. The intelligence inside these things, like when it's the kitchen, I think it cleans it differently and uses different hot water. And so it isn't sort of important to use. They don't tell us a whole lot about this, but I think it is important to use the words they have there. So take your time, name the rooms. Furniture, I've never really messed with the furniture much. It's going to add stuff where it thinks it is, but I've never found that to be too useful. Floor material, now this is going to be useful. All right, so this, I'm going to select the corner test. It's hardwood floor, and this is where you set the direction. I like that little pop-up. So now I can move. The floor is going this direction, so you do want your robots to mop in the direction of the wood grain. So my wood grain is going that way. I could do tile to Tammy. I'm not sure what that is. And this also has to do with how hard it pushes down, I'm pretty sure. And then general, I'm not sure what general is. But there's where you change the direction. All right, wood for gentle cleaning and Frio mop and humidity. Tile for strong cleaning. So that's where it presses down more for tile. Tatami is for strong. Marble and cobblestone. It'll be enhanced. So, and that's when it's in Frio mode. It's going to adjust according to these. So if you want it to push down as hard as you want, I would put it in tile, but you won't get to pick the direction. And it also increases the humidity. So it is best to, I'm wanting it to press down really hard, but I don't want it to put down too much water. So I'll go back to wood. Floor material, carpet. So I suggest letting your robot do clean your entire house, and then it's going to show you where the carpet is. It did a pretty good job, but you can do carpet boost, sidestep, cross, regular cleaning. So I'm not going to go into that right now. We need to have it clean our entire house to show us exactly where all the carpet is. No-go zones. I know it's going to struggle back here. So let's hit the little plus button. We can do no vacuum and mop. We can do no vacuum or no mop. So that's kind of nice. So that zone ended up being right there. I'm going to move it back here. You can't put it around the base. You can make it big or small, but I do have some computer cables right there. So I'm going to click there. And you can change these later and add them later. Heavily soiled rooms. This is interesting. Heavily soiled. I'm not sure what this. When a room is recognized as heavily soiled, the robot will start intense cleaning to ensure a clean floor. So if you have a room that's always dirty, you could tell it to, you could name that as a heavily soiled room. Edit the floor plan. I guess you can, I'm not going to mess with mine. Mine looks pretty good. And you can rotate the map. All right, so we're back here. Let's go back to settings, little gear icon. Again, see, there is an update, and it's okay. My current version was 1.0.0.26.0. I am going to update now. Added support for mirror, floor, water refill logic. So this, and I did see in there, it did say that this was important to do this update. So these usually don't take long, and I'll let you know how long it takes. But I would just leave your phone open. Don't mess with the robot. Don't mess with the app. Okay, that update took about 10-15 minutes, so it does take a while. That is pretty common for Narwhal updates to take a while. But I'm on 1.1.10.14. Again, if you have any problems at all, I would make sure the updates are done and give it a day or two. Okay, so we can change the name. There's the device, the area unit. I'm just going to go through some of my recommended settings. Share device, locate, reboot, unpairing. Okay, privacy settings. Frio mind. Intense cleaning for large dirty area. When turned on, if the robot recognizes large dirty areas when cleaning with Frio mind, that's where it'll go back and forth over a stain. Remopping limit. What does AI? 3, 2, 1. How many is AI? Suction power, smart, quiet, strong. So when it's in Frio mind, how many remopping limits do you want? Which AI, is that unlimited or what? Suction power, mopping humidity, smart. I mean, I guess you can adjust this, which is, I actually like this because this is the automatic cleaning mode, I like to call it. Roborocks have other names for it. But I can go in and fine tune the automatic cleaning mode. This is nice. Coverage, precision. Smart, normal, or meticulous. That's the cleaning pattern. I like it. Those settings only come into mind when you're in Frio mind. Because when you do a whole, like, you click this, if you're in Frio mind, it's kind of like it's figuring everything out for you. But you can go in and do specifics. Vacuum and mop, you can do custom. Then how many cycles, the level of suction, the level of humidity, just 3 levels looks like, and then the coverage. You can do vacuum then mop, vacuum mop, and then custom. Oh, you got Frio mind in all of those, huh? And again, the Frio mind, it's just got some onboard, it's figuring stuff out for you based on room environment and dirt level. So, but I like being able to adjust, fine tune the Frio mind is nice. Okay, so clean. How often do you want it to wash the mops by area? The default is 215 square feet. It'll use more water if you make it lower, or you can do by room. If you don't want the bathroom water to be mixed with the kitchen water, you can do by room. Doesn't look like there's a time limit. Edge mode. When turned on the robot, extend the mop pads. Yeah, I want that on. Clean carpet first. This is nice. So if you don't want that mop pad to be wet and drug over your carpets, I do recommend turning that on. It'll clean your carpets first before it wets the mop pad. Intense carpet cleaning. It's going to go horizontal and vertical for better results. So that's on by default. We'll leave it on. General. I do recommend turning do not disturb on. These things will start in the middle of the night. I'm going to turn mine off. It has a high altitude mode. Will increase fan power. So if you're above 2,000 meters, probably someplace like Denver, you got to turn high altitude mode on. Child lock, auto power off when turned on. So if your robot gets stuck and it's stuck somewhere, it's eventually going to turn the power off. Base station, let's go over these. Auto dustbin bag bacteria control. When turned on, the dustbin bag will automatically air dry for bacteria. So there'll be a little fan that kicks on to blow hot air into the dust bag and the dustbin inside the robot. And there's a health index. I've never done much with that. I know it's a lot of information. Sometimes it's too much, I think. Drying intensity, silent, strong, or smart. I guess we'll just leave it on silent. Base station default cleaning vacuum. Base station default cleaning mode. So that must be when you press the button on top. It'll vacuum and mop. Yeah, that's the button on top of the base. Smart temperature controlled mopping system. When turned on, the water will be heated to an appropriate temperature based on the dirt sense detection results to better clean mop pads. High temperature sterilization may extend mop washing time. So that's on by default. It's going to vary the temperature it washes the mop pads. Auto dust collection, smart. I like always. I don't like there to be dust or dirt and debris in the dustbin. Dust collection mode, strong. Robot water tank draining. So let's go back up to this one. Drying and, oh, that's, I think that's, I'm not sure on the drying intensity. Family with pets. Yes, I have pets. I have cat. I have dog. I can pet clean area. That's where the furniture is going to come into play. So if you can tell it where the pet bowl is, and it'll clean around them. Pet supplies. After the task is, you can start cleaning the folks. So if a cat was sitting in your doorway and it couldn't go into that doorway, it'll go back and re-clean that when the cat leaves. And it's smart dust collection based on the pet hair, dustbin, bag maintenance, and mopping. So I turned that on. Family map management. It does multi-floor management. Ooh, cleaning order. And there's a no stairs and there's edit map. So I do like being able to do the cleaning order. I want corner test to be first. So when it does a whole home clean, what order do you want it to clean in? So you just drag and drop these. Okay, this is nice. Living room 1. Yeah, 2, 3. So just drag and drop these however you want. And that's the order in which it'll clean them. That's nice. Make sure you hit the save button. Up to 4 maps can be saved. Manage accessories. This is where it's going to tell you when it's time to change the dust bag. 90 hours looks like. That dustbin insert, I've never had to throw one away. It can be cleaned, so I don't know why that's like that. But this one, that needs cleaned every couple weeks. 90 hours, I'm not sure if that's every couple weeks. That's when it needs replaced, I think. Mop roller, 150 hours. And when you replace it, hit that and that resets the timer. There's that scraper, which I really couldn't figure out how to get that off. Every 2 weeks, wow. After removing the mop module, press the mop self-clean scraper and push it towards the mop slot. Rinse, so push it that way. That's the first time I've seen that. So I'm going to do a complete maintenance video on this, but base station, that's that filter that's on top of that. The zero floating brush, 150 hours, anti-tangle side brushes. The sensors is every 8 hours. Caster, the sponge filters are in the tanks. So language and voice. AI obstacle avoidance, smart or safety. I'm just going to leave it in smart. Third-party control. This is where all the smart speakers come into play. I'll have to do a separate video on that. Experimental features. I don't like these that well. You can try out the latest features. Update furniture floor material. Not sure what that is. I don't even see where you turn it on. But there's no update, so that's it. I thought there would be a few more different things. So now this is where, when you open an app up, here's where it's going to start. It does have a camera on it. You got to authorize it. Press the dock button 3 times. Real quick. So I pressed.
Video permission granted.
Now I got to give it a passcode. I'm setting the passcode. This isn't something that's already set. So whatever numbers you want it to be. All right. So I gave it a passcode.
Video occupied.
All right. So I can move the robot forward. Yeah. And the robot will go forward. So this is like a little remote control. I got to give it access. It can take a picture. And it can do a video. All right. So and it's got a microphone. I can speak. So I could be in another state. And that's got kind of a high up. Let me turn it towards me. I mean, it can't see my face. I'm sitting right here. So, but. All right. So I like that.
Video ended.
All right. So I want to tell it to go home. Let's just press the dock button on there.
Recall.
Yeah, I want to show you it docking. It's pretty aggressive. Okay.
Recall completed.
Here's some dock settings. We can do an automatic dust collection. There's the dust canister disinfection. That we can wash the mop. We can start and stop the mop drying. And then you can go right to the settings on the base station. That's nice. You can do a room. So let's, if you, well, that works a little different. Let me, it's kind of default into cleaning the entire house. Let's go back. So all the rooms are selected, but if I come up here and select that room, then that one's just highlighted. And then I can do vacuum and mop, vacuum then mop, vacuum, mop, or custom. And then just hit start. And then I can see the history. And the one thing I tell people is put this on a schedule. Have it clean your house at least once a week, the entire house. It's easier to tell it to stop cleaning than to remember to tell it to start cleaning. So deselect it. And then it goes, see, this is when all the rooms are in color. That means it's going to clean the entire house. So vacuum and mop, click this again. I'm going to do Frio Mine, vacuum and mop. I can do custom like I showed you. 1, 2, 3 passes on the entire house. That's interesting. That could take it a while to clean. 3 passes on your entire house, but wow. And that could use a lot of water. 4 levels of suction, mopping humidity. I guess I thought there would be more fine tuning the mopping water level, but there's not. And then just standard or meticulous. Then if you want to do a zone, press the zone button. You're going to move this around and you can make this as big or as small as you want, and you can add multiple zones. And you can tell it how to clean those zones. So that's nice. But we'll go back to, yeah, all the rooms are selected. Okay, let's go clean the corner testing area. I've got the Frio Mine set to defaults. All the defaults are on. Smart, smart, smart. I'm going to do a Frio Mine. These things do get smarter. So keep in mind, this is the first test. I'm going to do the corner testing area. And I want to do Frio Mine, vacuum and mop. And let's hit now, start cleaning now. So it's going to do intense cleaning because it's the first task. Or no. Yeah, I'll do that.
Frio Smart Vacuum and Mop started.
So it's going to fill the internal water tank up with water. It's going to wash the mop pad. Washing it with hot water. Then it's going to go and clean this room. So it really does want you to clean your entire house first. I mean, I'm doing testing here, but for it to clean my entire studio would take a whole day, probably. And these things can use a lot of water. That's why I hooked up the Frio Z to water. It's a pretty good robot because of it can go back and remop so much, but they just use so much water. They're hard to keep the clean water tank filled. Now they do have a version of this that is plumbed in. You can hook a water line to it and a drain line to it. I do recommend that for narwhals. They can really go through the water because they can really clean. Yeah, so far washing it doesn't seem very loud. And you'll get a status update. This is like a timeline. I really like a timeline. You can monitor this during out the process. Just click on that right there. And it'll tell you about the remopping events. And these other robots will only do 1 remopping event. I know the Frio Z, it did 4 at my house when I took it to my house. My floors were never cleaner. That thing really did a good job. All right, looks like I thought it was going to undock. And I may have failed to mention it, but this does have a dirt detection sensor. So whenever it goes and cleans an area and comes back, washes the mop roller and sucks the water up, it's going to pass through a dirt detector. And if the water's dirtier than normal, the base station tells the robot, go back and remop where you just came from. That sounds a little weird. It's still sucking up water. But let's go see. Okay, let's see how the Narwal flow cleans up this room that has a lot of dirt and debris. It can spin that side brush backwards. Now that mud was dried on pretty good. So it did sense that cable right there. That's really good obstacle avoidance. It turned the side brush off. So it looks like it's vacuuming up first. So it went into a vacuum only mode right there. Now it looks like it's going back into a mopping mode, I think. It's in a vacuum only mode. I can see that in the app. Now it went back to mopping. It's in a vacuum and mopping mode now. The mop roller is not turning, but it's got it down. See, it's scrubbing, but not turning the mop roller. Says it's vacuuming and mopping. Not sure what mode that is, where it puts the mop roller down but doesn't spin it. Oh, it's going to go back and wash the mop now. It says it's going to go back and wash the mop. So it's going to travel back to the docking station. And wash the mop pad. This is the dirty water tank. There comes some dirty water. So the mop washing is kind of a process. This is taking a while. It's not really loud. It's just different. I think we're up to about 4 or 5 minutes now of this mop washing. Okay, we're up to 8 minutes. It's again not loud. It's just a lot going on. It sounds like. I've never seen a mop washing take almost 10 minutes. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just different. I mean, whoa. It's done. Surely not. Okay. Let's examine what's going on. We got a lot. It's not done, but view report. I had this in Frio because I wanted the remopping event. Okay, so there's where it found the granular waste and was switched to vacuum. Intensive cleaning on garbage area. Base station, high temperature pressurization. Mop washing, corner test. So I'm a little cleaning pattern scatter. So it found, I guess you can turn this off. Scattered granular waste record. The robot will mark the area temporarily and adopt a smart strategy to prevent it from spreading and cleaning results. I never saw where you could turn that off, but I'll leave it on. But it missed this area completely. It never even tried to mop the muddy paw prints. This area. So let's again, first cleaning. I know I'm a little puzzled. We've got to have more time. Let's just do it again. All right, let's do the corner test. I mean, I guess I'm going to do custom. 2 cycles, suction, normal, wet, and meticulous. Start.
Vacuum and mop started.
So this is going to be,
Dust collection.
this reminds me a lot of Narwal. There's the dust collection. It's always at the beginning of the next cycle, which, these dust collect at the end of the job. Narwal dust collects at the beginning of the job. I don't think there's a difference, but I'd rather do it at the end. So it's going to go through a whole nother mop washing event. This reminds me of the very first narwhals. Their cleaning patterns were just erratic sometimes. They're not as fine-tuned as some of these others, but and it beeped. I don't know why it beeped. Okay, it kind of ramps up when it comes out too, so it's a little different. But okay, wash, and then sometimes there's water being sucked. Yeah, so after it exits, for some reason it's sucking water up. I don't know, I can't see any water, but that's a lot of water for just a little area. Oh, I tasked the pause. I paused the task. So I pressed the button. Okay, what's gonna happen? I gotta get my chair. Sorry about that. So that mop roller does not spin super fast. So we got a particle boost. I think it's mopping. Yeah, it is mopping. Just it's very quiet. Yeah. That's a pretty good job of mopping. That's a really good job of mopping. I need to get my white glove on. So it's doing the perimeter of the room again. Okay, I do have my white glove on. We're gonna test it. It's doing the second pass. Yeah. That's still a little wet, and that is really clean. All Hard to see the mop roller. This side. It doesn't spin it really fast. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So the particle boost kind of threw it for a loop. It's going back, it did 2 passes, now it's going back to the dock. It's just so fast. Okay, so in the corner, it does spin the side brush backwards, and it does do, you know, pretty good job. I don't want scrapes, though. I did see it kind of, I don't know, maybe that's just like coffee. But here, it cannot get that dirt, and it can't get dirt in the corner. And it did leave some here. But in the middle, it did a good job. Now don't go anywhere. We're going to do rod furniture, U-shaped furniture, and long hair, dirt and debris. iPhone cable, fake poop, Lego man. I think we're going to get a remopping event. I'm checking the timeline. And it says round 2 clean, hopefully. It's still washing the mop right now.
Mop drying started.
Okay, we did not get a second cleaning. So it's done. So I don't think the remopping works when you're not in Frio, but... And so just so you know, when it's done, you'll hear that mop roller moving. I don't hear it now, but I hear the fan. It's blowing hot air onto it, but once in a while you'll hear that zzz. All right, let's just... Lots of dirty water. Yeah, it is relatively warm. Let's look things over. Come here.
Drying interrupted. Please put the robot back to the base station.
Oh, that's right. It auto empties at the beginning of the next job. Oh. So yeah, it doesn't auto empty at the end of the job. I want to check long hair management. Few down here. Not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, it tucks. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how to get the scraper out yet. So I just took this out. That's gonna need some cleaning quite a bit after just one job. Okay, I finally figured out how to remove the scraper. If you look in the instructions, it says push it towards the mop pad, and that's what this big release button is here. You press in. So first of all, again, take the mop roller, just lift it up. You can take it all the way out if you want. Huh. There's where the water comes sprayed out, but you're going to move this black part towards the sprayers, and it's really in there. So press this button right here. You'll see something move over here, but now don't damage. See, just a little bit. That's there. There's the scraper. Oh, it's clean. pretty impressive. Okay. Oops. Looks like there's... That's the tube that sucks it out. I'm not sure what that does. Opens that suction tube, I guess. But that's not bad. That scraper is, man, that's cleaner than Eufy after a cleaning like that. So then you're just going to take it and push it back in, yeah. So I don't even think you need, does it need to be released? No. That has something to do with a suction line. Now this is, as far as I know, as much as you can take apart. And something else, again, it can lift these wheels. So there's how it does that threshold climbing. I'm manually lifting them, but the robot can do that. It can lift those wheels. Okay, we're going to do some carpet cleaning, but before we do this, there's some very important settings we got to go over. I just spent about a half hour, 45 minutes figuring this out. I should have remembered Narwal has a default where it will not clean carpet. I don't understand that, so I'm going to show you how to fix that. So, you know, it shows you, whenever it mapped my house, it shows where some of the carpet is. But we have to go in and tell it what to do with that carpet. This is a very tricky step that I wish was better. So click map, click main edit. You have to hit this carpet button. Earlier we did that and there wasn't any carpet, or maybe there was, but anyway, do it now. This is super important. So see how those carpets have individual settings. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the default, but first we have to tell it what to do with these carpets. So click that carpet and it's in cross carpet. So it's not gonna clean it. It's gonna cross it, but it's not gonna clean it. That, for some reason, that's the default. I'm not sure why. We wanna go to, and again, I don't quite understand these. Treats carpets the same as other floor types in case some areas are misidentified. No, that's if it identified it as carpet and it's not. You don't want to sidestep it. It'll avoid it. We want, I guess, carpet boost. I wish it would just be normal carpet cleaning, but put it on carpet boost, okay? And then do this for each one that it is identified. If you want it to clean it, you have to do this. This is very tricky, carpet boost. And it may be different, but click each carpet and carpet boost. Okay, now all the carpets are selected that I see on here. Now go to the default. Well, let's hit save. All right, let's now go back to carpet. Those are, let's verify that they are, yes, they're carpet boost. Okay, go to the default. This was here. That's the default. And so you have to change it to this. If you want it to vacuum carpet, hit there. Then hit the back, and then let's just verify it again. Carpet, select these. Yeah, that's saved. Good. Go to the default. It is at clean the carpet. You're good. Now it will go clean these carpets. This is very confusing. So now as it does a full cleaning of your house, it's going to identify more carpet because not all the carpet's identified. And it should identify that carpet and give it the default setting that we set. Whereas the carpet it recognized in the mapping, it gave it a setting that was to cross only. So now let's do a zone. Yeah, let's clean this zone right here. Let's do a vacuum, custom, 2 passes, super strong, meticulous, start. Because if you don't do this, it's not going to clean carpet. I'll also tell you that. That's a very strange setting. Earlier it made 1 pass, but then it went back to the dock. All right, we're cleaning carpet. It wouldn't clean this carpet without changing those settings, so. And it looks like side brushes do not turn in carpet mode. So it's got them stowed. Does turn them in the corner. Interesting. So sometimes it turns them on, sometimes it doesn't. They're not on right now, that's for sure. Looks like it's going to try to avoid that poop at all costs. That's good. That's really good obstacle avoidance. All right, the Narwal Flow is vacuuming up this carpet. Now it did run that little Lego toy over. You saw my hand there, it's gonna go around my hand. Doing a really good job. I left a little carpet there. It's going to do 2 passes though. Was able to pick up that big piece of cereal. And it's really staying away from that fake poop. Ooh, it lifted the wheels. It's like jumping. It's doing a pretty good job of vacuuming, I would say. Oh, it's going in. That's kryptonite for robot vacuum cleaners. A U-shaped, rod-shaped furniture traps 90% of the robots in my inventory. Can the Narwal Flow get out? Ooh, it can raise the wheels. It's trying. Oh. Oh man, it's being very aggressive. I did it. Now you would like for him to stay away from that area. Now it didn't recognize the furniture. It did recognize the pet waste. It took a little picture of the pet poop. And if you click on it, you see a big picture of it. Yeah, you would like for it to, like it's going to jump it back, it's going to jump back into it. It can really jump. Like does a dance. Like it jumped out and did a little dance. So this cable is going to be really hard. It's one thing when they're coiled up and when they're on the ground. Ooh, I think it is recognizing it. Oh, they show it like following it, you know, but it got too close for my liking, but not bad. I mean, they show it like going around it. It's a little too close, but that's not too bad, actually. Not too bad. And it did identify, well, it showed a cable and it just went away. But you cannot adjust. Oh, maybe I can. Oh, sorry, I can. Let's go to quiet. It's just, so quiet is quiet. Let's go to normal. There's normal. Strong. Super powerful is very loud. It's like 3 times as loud as the rest. So we'll just go back to strong. Yeah, there's that cable. And it took a good picture of it. Wow. So it's doing the second cleaning. I got it on 2 passes and it's doing the perimeter of the room on the second cleaning. That's good. I think. Yeah, it's doing the perimeter of the room. It stayed away from that poop. Yep, it's doing a really good job of vacuuming. And even since that obstacle wasn't there anymore, I've got it on a really low suction power. But it does have this room really clean. That was a really big mess. The ground coffee is the hardest. Now I do hope that it's probably not going to stay away from that furniture, but you would like for it to identify it and stay away, but at least it can get around it. I've only seen one robot, maybe a couple, that identify it as U-shaped furniture, but even the Roborock will identify it, but they still try to go through it. So yeah, that could keep you up at night, or that could wake you up or cause you to, what's going on? And I think it could move. If that chair was light enough, it definitely would knock it over, I think. And that mop pad seems to be lifted pretty high too. This is pretty thick carpet. You know, it's touching it, but not too bad. Let me turn the suction up. At least go to strong. Let me go to super. It says I'm not done with these legs. I will be testing threshold. 0.75 plus 0.75 equals 1.5. And this does say it'll do a 1.57-inch threshold. Yeah, it is doing a really good job. I mean, there's a little bit of dirt and debris left, but not bad. I think it liked me there. Oh, it did identify that chair as cable. No, it's rod-shaped furniture. It's trying to stay away from that cable, but I knew it was getting too close. Now it's just all confused. Now it wants to cross. Yeah, it's just going to run it over now. So not quite what they advertised, but they do show like a plug-in cable, not a, that's a really thin cable, I mean, but they, you know, the advertisement just shows it going all around it, no big deal. So it's all done. And it won't auto empty until the next go around, until it starts the next task. So I'm going to go tell it to clean this other room, and then it'll do an auto empty.
Self-cleaning started.
Self-cleaning. I'm not sure what that is.
Charging started.
All right, let's go to history. There. Oh, I love that replay. So this is cool. Not many do. See, you can see. I love replay. I mean, I hardly ever use it, and you can ramp it up the speed to 2x. That's so cool. I love replay. I wish they all had replay. Does show the obstacles. I can still click on the pictures. Let's see if I can click on an old one. No, this is when it wasn't working. Vacuum and mop. No, you can't. The old pictures aren't there. Well, maybe they are. Hold on. Yeah, they are. Okay, yeah. And I don't see where you can turn that scattered debris on or off in the settings. Or I may have turned it off, but I'll leave it on.
Vacuuming started.
Okay, it's going to do the auto empty. Should be here at the thunk. Oh, it didn't do an auto empty. I don't like that. I think they should do it every single time. Sometimes they think they want to smartly figure it out. It's thinking maybe it didn't go very long and it doesn't need auto empty. I don't know. To me, an auto empty should be as often as possible. I don't see those as being a big deal. That is 1.5 inches. Okay. Wow. Wow. It did it. I didn't think it was going to do it. But it has to be stepped. It can't be 4 centimeters or 1.5 inches all in one swoop. It has to be 1 inch plus, so 3 inches plus an inch. You know, this is 0.75 plus 0.75, which is so. And in the map, you don't identify the thresholds. So I don't think so. I didn't see a threshold setting. Normally you tell it where the thresholds are, but this thing just figures them out, I guess. And then to long press to cancel. Or yeah. And then you have to hit the check mark in order for it to travel, yeah, recall to base station. And we're going to check that carpet setting. Make sure it followed our default setting. Okay, let's verify. We got to pop up because it went and cleaned that room for the first time and it said that it detected new carpet. So tap to set and it went away. Carpet. Okay, so it did give it the default, which is power boot. Okay, good. Gave it our default. Good. I just want to verify that it did. So I'm going to do another video of mopping only. I'm going to end this video. But I'm going to do some more testing. That's chocolate syrup that's dried on, ketchup, and mud. Okay, so that cleaning pattern is kind of typical for Narwal. On carpet it did better, and as it cleaned your house, the cleaning pattern does get better. I know in that first mopping event, it was a little off, and we had that particle boost. I'm going to keep the Just a Dad sticker seal of approval. It's got a lot going for it. Got a lot more testing. these robots, the more sophisticated they're getting, it's going to be more time consuming on my part. So I do like the Mova P10 Pro right there, and they're just maybe a little bit simpler, kind of just work in one particular fashion. The future, though, I think is kind of like the Narwal, the mop roller. We'll see. Again, just got a lot. This was the first look, and I wanted to get that out there. The threshold was amazing. Vacuuming, I thought, did really well. Mopping does good. Obstacle avoidance was relatively good. The cables, all of them struggle with the cables. So again, I did buy this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. Again, the first look, and that carpet setting is super important. And man, that jogged my memory because I fought it. The Frio Z has been relatively good. It cleans my studio once a week, and it's got hooked up to water lines. That's the thing with Narwhals. They just use a bunch of water, which you don't mind if your house is getting clean, but that can also be a deterrent if you're not constantly filling it up with water. So I would probably recommend the one with the water lines, but that you got to plumb in those water lines and everything. But I am starting something new, subscriptions on my YouTube channel. So for $2.99 a month, we can do, you can get a custom emoji, and you can pick, I only have 4 available right now, and you can pick like Team Mova, Team Roborock, and we're just gonna have fun with it. And as I get more members, I can create more emojis that you can have right next to you. It replaces your little circle. When you leave a comment on my videos, it puts whatever emoji you would like. And I'll create new ones as we get more members from what people say. So we're just gonna have some fun. I do have a top tier that if you want to help me pick what robot vacuum cleaner to buy next month, you can be part of that top tier membership. I get a lot of requests for a lot of different robots to review, and I just don't have time to do them all. And then the middle tier, $9.99 a month. I get over almost 250, 300 comments a day. So replying to comments is getting really, really hard. I try to hit the current videos, the latest videos, the best. Some of the older ones I just can't get to. So, but if you want your comments highlighted to where I'll see them and be able to reply to them quicker, that's kind of like a middle tier for channel memberships. It's just a way of helping support my channel. I do appreciate everybody's support. I do listen to everybody. This is kind of our YouTube channel. Yeah, I had some exciting news. iRobot, Roomba, we had a Zoom meeting about their robot that has the mop roller. I just needed to let it update longer. So updates. And remember, these are the first looks. I cannot give it a absolute, this is the best thing. I got to keep that in mind. But people do want to see these things, how they work out of the box. Because granted, if I use this for 2 weeks and it's got all the kinks worked out and I show you how it works, you may have unrealistic expectations when you get it because you're going to be hyper-focused. Whenever you unbox it and set it up for the first time, you're going to be very sensitive. Like, I just spent $1,300 on this. What's it doing? And so I know we need to be patient with these, and I'm going to try to be more patient with them. But that's why the first look I think is so important, because is it going to get better? Yeah, these things learn your homes. The Frio, I think, does get smarter, and it does kind of levels out after a while. But there are some settings that are very helpful. But keep in mind, this is just the first look, but this is real world. If I just that was delivered, I unboxed it. You may or may not have done the update. I'm really stressing that a lot to people. There's this new weird thing now where docks update differently than the robots. That's where iRobot ran into problems. So I'm not sure if that's the case on Dream and Roborock and Narwal. So a word of advice, if you do have a robot that's not working the best right out of the box, give it a day or 2. Now, don't go 3 or 4 days because you do want to start the return process as soon as possible. But give it 2 or 3 days and see how it goes. Man, I just got this thing on my nose and it's driving me nuts. I apologize. I can't stop looking at it. But again, channel memberships is a way of helping support. I do use links. There'll be a link pop up to Amazon in my description, and also have a website. So if you click on my website, justadadapproved.com, the links in the description, those will take you to Amazon, Walmart. If you end up purchasing the product doesn't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. It's a way of helping support my channel. I do really appreciate that. I do love what I do. I want to get you the best robot vacuum cleaner in your budget. You know, Flow is a very expensive robot. This is top tier. It's $1,300. I paid $1,300 for it. I got a free accessory kit, which this early bird stuff is kind of all over the place. And eventually this thing will be on sale. I would think $1,100. I have no idea, but this is top tier. And I think for top tier, you're going to be hyper focused on what's it doing. It just missed a spot. What's going on, you know? Some of the cheap, like the Mova P10 Pro, when you unbox it, it doesn't have a big learning curve. It's going to kind of clean in the same pattern day 1 as opposed to day 20. Some of the smarter ones do need to learn your house a little bit more, like the Narwal needs to learn where your carpet is more and stuff like that. So again, I do appreciate everybody's support. JustADadApproved.com. That's a simplified area where you can find robot vacuum cleaners that I highly recommend that are typically on sale. And when the sales happen, sign up for my email. I should have led with that. On my website, down at the bottom or even in the middle, I think I put it now, you can sign up for my email list. I'm constantly checking because this is my job. I'm constantly on Amazon. I'm constantly on Walmart's page. I see my feed from my Facebook and my news feed is just robots. So when things go on sale, when there's something new, I'm reading the news articles, and I'm constantly on Amazon checking pricing. So when the good robots go on sale, I send an email out. It's an email that's very simple. 3 or 4 robots, maybe sometimes it's just one, that it's just such a good deal. And these are sales of $200 or $300 off. This is like an $800 robot on sale for $400. These sales are pretty amazing. So sign up for my email list. It's on my website, JustADadApproved.com. I won't bombard you with a bunch of emails. I may start getting into some news articles or something because there's just so much coming out. It's September 2025 and the floodgates are opened up. I know that German expo's going on and they're just releasing stuff like crazy. And then I am going to be going to CES in Las Vegas in 2026. It's right after Christmas. I got my airline tickets. I got to get my hotel and all that, but I will be going and I will be doing some news articles and I'm going to talk to these manufacturers. I want to see their booth and just see what's going on. So really do appreciate everybody's support. Again, this is home of the honest review. I want to be as honest with you as possible. A lot of times that's just showing you kind of the real world experience. So again, I appreciate everybody's support. Sign up for the email, YouTube subscriptions. I'm just trying it out. Just kind of putting the feelers out to kind of help support my channel. I really do appreciate it. If you could, please like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.